Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my bedroom in the great state of Kansas. And I thought for video, since we're, halfway through the year basically, or a little more maybe, but around that halfway mark of the year. At the end of the year, I always do what's called the Old Millennial Awards, and I do it with Mike from Did You See That and Robert from Norn Ride 89. I thought it was a good time to kind of take a look at what's been going on so far in the movies and what I would give awards to halfway through the year, which is a little bit harder because I obviously haven't seen as many movies and there's more movies to come, big ones. Obviously, Spider-Man and Avengers is coming out. I played Rocky, looks pretty interesting. So there's definitely some more interesting ones. I'm sure could be making some of these lists. So this is just my list so far for halfway through the year of different categories. Anyways, so this is kind of a midway Old Millennial Awards basically. Anyway, so 12 different categories I have, and I've seen about 18 movies I think, if I remember right, so far this year, which isn't a lot compared to a lot of movie reviewers. Many of my compadres I've seen probably 50 or so. I've seen at least twice or more, 3 times as many movies as I've seen. Mostly I just keep to kind of mainstream movies that come out in the theater, and I kind of just go to try to see all the major ones, I guess, that are, uh, kind of the big movies of the week for the most part. The only problem is I don't like horror movies, so I kind of skip all the horror movies, which there's a lot of horror movies I haven't seen that have been big this year, like Obsession is huge, and I haven't watched it. I don't know if I will watch it. Send Help I didn't watch, and I know there's been a bunch of them that have come out. So 28 Days Later, Bone Temple or something like that. It's like, I don't care for horror movies, so I kind of just keep away from those kind of movies. Um, but most part, I've seen most of the big movies so far, I think. And I kind of just judge off that. I also don't consider streaming movies as part of my list. I only like to do movies that come out in the movie theater, so that's what limits me. While other people, their list of movies are bigger because they count all the streaming movies, which there's a bunch of streaming movies that come out, and I just kind of keep to just, like I said, just the movies that come in movie theaters, because I know those are movies I can get on physical media at some point. So I like to just concentrate on that. But I usually see about 45 to 50 movies a year. So 18 so far is maybe a little below average of where I'm at, anyways. But again, still got a lot of movies to watch before the year's over. But anyway, sorry, getting to my list here. So first category is most disappointing movie of the year. And for me, that is easily Toy Story 5. Obviously, because Toy Story is such a great franchise, it's been perfect up to this point. I'm a big fan of the first 4 movies, have them all on Blu-ray, seen them many, many times. And so coming out of Toy Story 5, it was like, every time they come out with a new movie, I'm like, oh man, because they can't keep making good movies. Eventually, in any franchise, it's going to fall off. So you think, gosh, it's incredible that they've made 4 good ones, in my opinion. So making a 5th good one is definitely going to be hard. But I still had some faith in Toy Story because, again, Toy Story has been so good. All the way to Toy Story 4, which a lot of people are skeptical of Toy Story 4. I still really like Toy Story 4. So I had some hopes that we'd still get a pretty good movie. And yeah, this movie was not good. Definitely the worst of the series. Just not as funny. The story is not as good. Jesse being the main character is not as interesting. Don't like how they treat Buzz, especially, and sideline him, and they sideline all the other great toys. And they concentrate too much on Bonnie, which is not that interesting of a character anyway. So, yeah, very big miss here for me on Toy Story 5. All right, next category is most overrated movie, and this is the last movie I saw, I think, and I have to give it to The Odyssey. And yeah, I thought the movie was absolutely terrible. I give it a half star. It's the worst movie of the year, halfway through the year. Worst movie I've seen so far. And everybody I've seen give reviews loves this movie. Everybody gives it big praise. wow, what a great epic movie. It looks great, all this. I'm just like, wow, I feel like I saw a different movie. I don't get why people love this movie so much. I thought it was so boring. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes at least, or something like that. Just super boring, super slow moving. I'm not a big Christopher Nolan fan, to be honest. I think his movies are usually boring and slow moving. So this is kind of on par. And I don't know, nothing worked for me in the movie. Like, even the cinematography, I was like, it was kind of dark a lot of the times. I didn't really care, didn't really notice that much. There's a lot of scenes I look back and I think back, there's so many scenes that didn't make sense. I think the dialogue was actually pretty horrible now I think about it. I didn't think any of the acting was good. A lot of people were like, oh, the acting was so good. I was like, I didn't think the acting was that good. And I didn't think anybody looked like the characters. I even felt like Matt Damon. I was like, I don't know. Matt Damon's a good actor, but I didn't see him as Odysseus or whatever. I was thinking, who would make that character is probably Russell Crowe 20 years ago. Obviously, not now because he's old, but like 20 years ago, like he would have been perfect for this character, I think, and he would have done a much better job at it. Obviously, you can't go back in time and do it, so I don't know who else would do it now, but Matt Damon's not the guy. I don't know, it didn't fit in there, and Jon Bernthal didn't fit in. I love that actor, but he just felt like the Punisher doing the scenes, and that's what I felt like about everybody. Everybody just felt like, oh, it's that one actor, but he's not really being the character, he's just phoning it in, it felt like. I don't know. I didn't think any of the performances were good. The music was annoying. It was just loud and annoying most of the time. And the story is just not an interesting story. I don't know. It makes for an okay poem, whatever, to read, but as a different medium, like a visual one, it's just not that interesting to me. And I can go down all the things. So many things that don't make sense in that movie and just not satisfying at all. So, all right, most underrated movie for me is Normal. The Bob Odenkirk movie, kind of an action comedy, a lot like the Nobody movies that he's done just recently. So he's kind of doing the same kind of character as Nobody, Nobody 2, Normal. He seems to be almost typecast now as this guy, kind of like what happened to Liam Neeson later in his career. Because what's interesting, he's a comedic actor, but he's actually a really good actor. And he's just really nailing these type of characters, I think. And I knew as soon as I saw the trailer to this movie, and I even saw people's movie reviews that didn't like it. And as soon as I saw people's movie reviews, I was like, yeah, I'm going to like this movie. And I did. I don't know. It was just one of those. The Odyssey, I knew I was going to hate it, and I did. I just kind of knew. You just have that instinct. Sometimes when you see a trailer, you go, I don't think I'm going to like this movie. Sometimes you get surprised, though. In this case, Normal, I was like, I think I'm going to like this movie. And I did. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. And I don't think a lot of people really gave it that good a review, or I don't think I even saw that many reviews on the movie. It seemed like it just kind of came and went and wasn't really talked about as much as others. But I think it's one of the better movies of the year for me, so that's where it goes. All right, worst performance of the year. I picked just anybody I thought had the worst performance, and I had to go to Elliot Page from The Odyssey. Man, when you see Elliot Page come out at the beginning of the movie, even, it's like takes you right out of the movie. You're like, I don't buy that character at all. And Elliot, I don't know, it's a 39-year-old like woman or something like that. I think someone told me. She's in her 30s, anyways, let's say, and she's playing a guy who's in the army. But every time she like comes across anybody else, she's half their size. And so you're like, I don't believe this person would ever be in the Greek army or whatever. Of any sorts. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's mostly because of, liberalism and that they have to fit some kind of diversity quota. So they put a trans person in there and it just doesn't look good, doesn't fit. Now, Elliot Page isn't in the movie very much, but when Elliot Page is in the movie, it just takes you right out of the movie, and it's not a good performance. The voice is so weird. I don't know. It's just it just, as soon as you see Elliot, you're just like, oh my God, like, don't care to see Elliot ever again, to be honest. But all right, best actor, I went with Ryan Gosling in Project Hail Mary. I consider Bob Odenkirk. I liked him a lot. Normal. I don't know. Ryan Gosling, overall, he had to kind of carry the movie. A lot of the movie was him and like a rock creature or him by himself. So he really had to put a lot on his shoulders for this movie. And overall, I liked the movie, didn't love it, but there was some good, again, some good comedic moments between him and the Rock alien, Rocky, and some comedic moments here as well. So overall, I thought he did a decent job. So he gets best male performance. Best actress, again, I kind of hard time. I always have a hard time with best actress. Who should I go for? I don't know. I'm trying to think of who kind of carried their movie, and I went with Zazie Beetz in They Will Kill You. Even though I didn't like the movie, I think she was pretty good in the part, and she had to carry the movie. She was the main actress, and she was in all the scenes mostly for the most part, I think. And I thought she did a pretty good job. And there was some good stuff in that movie that I actually liked. And she had to do a lot of physicality because it was an action type movie with some horror elements as well. So I guess I commend her a lot for she had to be in really good shape for that movie. So I put her in there. All right, best comedy, I went with The Sheep Detectives. Not necessarily the funniest movie, but again, I don't see a lot of funny movies every year. It's always hard to find a good comedy, I feel like. And so since I really like this movie and I think I would consider it a comedy, it got into the comedy section. Again, it's not the funniest movie, but it has some good moments in it. Best drama, I went with Project Hail Mary is the best drama so far. Again, it's hard. It has some comedy in it, it has some drama. It's hard to say I saw a movie that was just straight out drama that was really great. This probably comes the closest to it. And again, I like the movie for the most part. It has some good moments in it. So, best action movie, easily, I went with Mortal Kombat 2. Again, even though Normal had some action in it, Mortal Kombat 2 has some really good action scenes in it, and the fight scenes were really good, actually. I thought that was definitely the best part of the movie. There's a number of fight scenes that are really good, especially the Liu Kang Kung Lao fight scene. Great fight scene, probably the best fight scene Mortal Kombat's ever had. So that really stood out. But even like Katana and Shao Kahn at the end, I thought was a really good final battle kind of thing. And yeah, a number of good fight scenes throughout that movie. So yeah, easily the best action movie so far. Now, I have a best horror thriller category. Of course, like I said, I don't really see a lot of horror movies. I did see Backrooms, but I thought it was not very good. So the only movie I can kind of think puts in that category is They Will Kill You. Even though I didn't like the movie, I gave it 2 stars. It's the closest one I can come to this category. Again, it's more of an action movie, but it does have some horror elements into it as well. As the bad guys are the satanic cult thing, and there's like a pig head that comes alive. So it has some horror elements there. All right, comes to worst movie. You can guess it. Worst movie, I already said it, what it was. It was The Odyssey is the worst movie so far for me, and I already talked about it in my overrated section, so I don't need to go any more into it. Best movie, if you paid attention to my birthday stream, I talked about all the movies, and yeah, my favorite movie has been The Sheep Detectives, which I put in my best comedy section. Even though it does have some good dramatic moments, actually had some of the best dramatic moments I've seen in a movie that actually made me kind of tear up. There's a death scene in the movie that actually had me kind of tearing up a little bit, so it kind of surprised me a little bit in that sense. And it's about sheep, talking sheep, and yet it can make me emotional. And but yeah, overall, I thought it was a really well-written movie with a great ending to it. You have the murder mystery part, you have the comedy part to it, and then some great moments that really make you think and go, wow, this is like very deep in some senses. So yeah, I thought it was a really well done movie. This could be an underrated movie as well, but I went with Normal on that one. But this is definitely another underrated movie that so far, my best movie. Will it be my best movie at the end of the year? I doubt it. I'm sure something will come up in the next 6 months that'll take the spot. We'll see. I like it. I gave it 3.5 stars, but again, it hasn't been a good year of movies so far. I have 18 movies. I only gave like 6 positive reviews and 12 negative reviews, so I'm hoping more positive reviews are in the future. We'll see. Anyways, that's my Midway Old Millennial Awards. Anyway, tell me any of these categories you want to tell me, and I'll do them again at the end of the year. See, probably with Mike and Robert, like I've done before the last 3 years, and we'll see how close this list goes and how much it changes. Anyways, I thought it'd be fun to kind of look back so far in the year, and that's my look back at it. So thanks so much for watching this. Thank you so much for liking the video, And thank you so much to my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a good day.